and laughs in all that I create.
Today I'm playing with my koi watercolors and a glaze pen to achieve a cool resist effect. For this project, I'm using Sakura's Koi Watercolor Field Sketch Set with the 30 color palette. It comes with a handy water brush. I'm also using Sakura's Clear Glaze pen, which contains an ink that dries with a clear sheen. Finally, I'm using Strathmore's Mixed Media paper, which has a nice smooth finish that's good for ink, but is also stiff enough to hold up to watercolor. I cut a sheet down to 4 by 6 inches to make postcards. Now I'm going to hand letter my message on the front of the card using the glaze pen. This is a little hard to show on video since the ink is clear. However, it's a very wet and shiny ink, so if you position the card to catch the light, you'll be able to see what you're writing. You can use a lamp to really make the ink shine. When writing with the glaze pen, it's best to draw big, bold letters so they really contrast with the watercolor. Keep in mind that if you don't fill in the letters completely, the paint will show through in those areas. Since the glaze pen contains a very wet ink, you'll want to let it set for a couple of minutes before painting. You might want to use this time to experiment with your watercolors. You might be saying, but I'm really not a watercolor artist. Well, I'm not either. And that's one reason why I like this project. Because the painting ends up in the background, it really doesn't need to be perfect. It can be impressionistic, abstract, or a random pattern. Just have fun with it. Now that my ink is dry, I can start painting. I'm actually going to use the party card as my test sheet. By the time I'm done painting, it should be covered in a confetti-like pattern. One thing to keep in mind is that you want to fill all areas by the letters with color, so there's contrast between the letters and the background.
I'm gonna make you a world with these two hands today. But I love memories and laughs in all that I create. I can't help feeling inspired whenever you smile. Gotta show you that you're the reason. I don't feel afraid to innovate. Don't miss a chance to be creative. Don't. Why don't I try this at home? Try this at home.
It's okay if some color doesn't instantly repel off the letters. We can clean them up a bit later. For this next card, I'm painting the entire background in a light pink. If you wanted, you could leave it just like this. But I think I'll add a few abstract flowers. After my postcards are dry, I clean up any paint left on my letters with a slightly damp Q-tip. Trace the letter to get it a bit wet, then use the opposite end of the Q-tip like an eraser to pick up the color. Finally, I'm going to flip my card over and draw a few lines to turn it into a postcard. There are infinite possibilities, and it's easy to create something that's pretty, even if you don't consider yourself a watercolor artist. To learn more about the watercolors and glaze pen, please visit my sponsor, sakuraofamerica.com. For hundreds more crafting tutorials, visit my website at madebymarzipan.com.